welcome back to my channel. My name is Vanessa Serta and I am a mild to moderate special day class teacher, and today I am going to be talking about how I use Class Dojo as a positive reward system in my classroom. Class Dojo is a computer-based application that has been around for a couple of years now, and I know it's well known in the realm of education. At least at the site that I work at, most of the teachers are using Class Dojo. There are more mature versions of Class Dojo, but because I only teach 1st through 3rd grade, Class Dojo is perfectly appropriate for my classroom. So what Class Dojo is an application that your students' parents can sign up for, and they can see their child's progress, behavior, work samples, pictures, things like that. The way that I kind of see it is it's similar and comparable to Facebook, where you can kind of post statuses, photos, videos, things like that. Parents can comment on it, like things, and it's a great way to inform the parents of how their child's doing. So throughout the day, my students are able to earn points or they lose points. If they lose a point, then there is a feature on Class Dojo where you are able to put a note to the parents and explain why that student is losing a point. In my classroom, I have this visual schedule to let the students know what we're doing throughout the day, and it also shows each time that we're going to do Class Dojo. Now this is kind of out of order right now because I did have a student have a tantrum yesterday and they threw them all off and I haven't gotten a chance to fix them. But this is just a visual reminder to let them know that they have 2 opportunities to earn Class Dojo points that day. The first way that my students can earn a Class Dojo point is by participating in their language arts small groups. For language arts, they rotate to 3 different centers. We do Zone Day, which is an intervention piece and sight words, and then we do Wonders, which is the general education language arts curriculum, and then we do an independent activity center. So if my students participated and had good behavior at all 3 rotations, then they will earn a Class Dojo point. If they did not have good behavior or they were not participating, then they will not earn a point. And if they did something really problematic or something really intense, like hitting a student or having a tantrum or ripping up their work, then I might take a Class Dojo point away. I really try to not take too many points away because I personally feel that once a kid earns something, it shouldn't be taken away, but you can withhold giving additional points. But there are times when the behavior is just so extreme that I do need to take away a point and I do need to inform the parent. The second way that my students can earn a Class Dojo point is by doing their classroom job. So my students have daily classroom jobs, and some classroom jobs are a little bit harder than other jobs. So some of the jobs do require teacher or aide assistance, which is perfectly fine, and some jobs can be done independently. If I have a kid absent, then I might have a student volunteer to do an extra job, and in that case they would get an extra Class Dojo point. So if my students do a nice job with their classroom job, that also means coming back to their seat once they're finished, having good behavior, then they will earn a Class Dojo point. Once my students earn a total of 50 Class Dojo points, they're able to choose one of these large prizes. So I have a 5-minute break, I have 3 Grimes Gold, which is one of our PBIS interventions, a homework pass, this is just valid for 1 day, a prize from the teacher. I have a bunch of things that I bought from the Dollar Tree that the kids seem to like. Lunch with the teacher, this is a really popular one, which I'm always flattered when they pick that one. And then the last one is pick their classroom job. There are 2 additional ways that my students can earn Class Dojo points. So the first way that they can earn an additional Class Dojo point is by earning 5 tallies for engaging in appropriate on-task behavior. So let me show you the chart that I use to track. So this is what the chart looks like. It's right next to my calendar. I keep a dry erase marker here. This isn't the real one. The real one's actually behind it, but for confidentiality, I went ahead and just made up some names and put some false points up here. But pretty much once, say Vanessa was raising her hand because she had a question, I might throw up a point for her. Valerie may have gone to put her work away and I saw her push in her chair, so she may have gotten a point. Or I might have a student who has a really hard time just staying in their seat. So maybe every minute or so I might say, hey, I love how you're staying in your seat. And if they need frequent breaks, then I'll throw the points up there a lot quicker than some of my kiddos that don't need as much reinforcement. So Josh, he earned a total of 5 points. So he now has access to either a Class Dojo point, but if he doesn't want a Class Dojo point, he could take a 3-minute break. So this intervention is pretty systematic. My students know that when the points have a diagonal slash across it, that it's a total of 5 points. And that means that they can automatically, they can go to the timer box, which I'll show you right now, grab a timer. It's already preset for 3 minutes, and then they can begin the activity that they prefer, and then once that timer is up, they know that they need to go back to their seat. The last way for my students to earn a point is in the morning during calendar. I have my students broken up into somewhat small groups. They sit in tables of 6, and I give points per table. That means everybody at their table needs to be participating. They need to have a quiet body, showing ready with their hands, looking at the speaker, things like that. So once I see that the entire table is on task, I will give them a point. So this is what their tables look like. So right here, this is my mustache table. And you can see I have a couple of ongoing interventions right here. And one of my students yesterday actually earned 50 Class Dojo points. So he's waiting to use this ticket on Monday. And this is the whiteboard that I use to put tallies on for the table. So I have a mustache table, a T-Rex table, and a superhero table. So I'll just throw on their points throughout calendar. They typically earn 6 to 8 points per calendar session. And then at the end of calendar, I walk to each table and I say, okay, it's time to count your points. And then we count, and then we'll see which table has the most points, and whichever table does have the most points, or if it's a tie, then those students will earn a Class Dojo point. That about sums it up. So I hope that somebody out there is able to use some of these techniques that I use. It works for my class, but every class is different. If you don't want to use Class Dojo the same way that I do, you do not have to by any means, but I do definitely recommend using a system. You can use Class Dojo or something similar to Class Dojo because everybody needs positive reinforcement. Even teachers, we need positive reinforcement too. So if you don't have something like that in your classroom, I definitely recommend looking into one. Thanks for watching.